What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Earl Show. It has been like 3 months, and this is episode 4. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the Canon EOS R, which is not a film camera. It's a digital camera. It's Canon's newest member of its professional lineup, and it's also Canon's first full-frame mirrorless camera. It's been out for a few months now. I finally have my hand on one, and I got to use it this past weekend, so I'm going to be talking about my experiences both with photo and with video. So this video is going to be divided into 2 parts. Over the weekend, I went and shot photo and video for my friend's band's concert, Juicy Gossip. They're going to be linked in the description. They have a single out on Spotify called Charlie Brown. It's amazing. I edited the video, and that edit is going to be the second half of the video. So I'm not necessarily going to be reviewing the video component. It's just going to be footage shot on the EOS R. So I'm going to link that timestamp in the description if you want to jump right to that, or if you want to hear the first half of the video. I'm going to be talking about my experience with the camera, what I liked about it physically, and also showing you some photos and some image results I got off of this camera. First, let me say I absolutely love this camera. Now, as somebody who's so religious about film, people might be confused, but a good camera is just a good camera, and this camera just doesn't disappoint. So the lens I'm using on it is the kit lens that comes with it. If you buy it in a kit, it's the RF mount 24-105 f4. So this camera uses a different lens mount, which a lot of people were questioning, but I actually really like, and I'll tell you why. So this is one of the first reasons that I really like this camera is the control ring. So basically the lenses that are made for this camera and then the adapter that would go to the EF mount all have a tactile control ring, which is completely programmable. And this is where it gets really awesome for a film shooter like myself. So for somebody who's really used to having a ring, an aperture ring on a lens, that's exactly what I set it to. It just felt very natural to just be changing the aperture by rotating a ring on the lens. So that's one of the things I really like about this camera. The other thing I like about this camera is physically how it feels. It's got a really massive grip that I really like. It feels like a 5D Mark IV, but just like a lighter version of it, but not terribly lighter. The body itself got smaller, but it's not like the lightest camera in the world. The lens is actually pretty heavy. Another thing I really like about this camera is the flip out screen. I'm using it right now, and I can see myself. And that's really helpful because a couple other videos I shot on a 5D, and not being able to see myself and trying to film videos like this, it was more difficult. And the rotating screen also allowed me to get shots where I was holding it up here and had it flipped towards myself, and vice versa, holding it down here and have it flipped up. So I can see what I'm getting as opposed to just shooting in the dark. Another thing I really liked about it is just the overall programmable features. There's a couple of dials you can set, and like a mouse pad almost on the back that you can set for a variety of things. And it doesn't sacrifice performance at all. Has a full array of ports on the side, and it takes the same batteries as all the 5Ds did, the LPE6. So you have no need to get a different family of battery. You have the exact same batteries. You can pop them in if you're straight upgrading, or if you already have a collection of these batteries from shooting on other previous full-frame DSLRs from Canon, you're set to go when it comes to batteries, and that was really, really nice. This camera has a Digic 8 processor.
Whoa.
I sounded very British there. Processor. And it's really snappy and very sharp. I was firing off shot after shot after shot and was able to review them instantly. It's just a really snappy operating system and can process the images super quickly. It also has incredible ISO performance. A lot of the images that I took at the show were shot at 12,800 ISO, and they look so good. The camera has a full-frame 30.3 megapixel sensor, and it really just captures a whole lot of detail. I was editing these yesterday in Lightroom, and it was just incredible how much I could do to the image without noticing a significant dip in quality. The images are just gorgeous, and I had a lot of fun using it at the show. Like I said, I shot most of these at 12,000 plus ISO, and I shot most of them at somewhere around f22 or f16 because I really wanted to get a nice depth of field to capture as many people as I could on stage, and it was just a whole lot of fun. Now, for the video, it really was fun to shoot video with this. I was shooting at 1080p at 60 frames a second. This does go up to 4K at, I believe, either 24 or 30 frames a second. I don't really care about 4K video because most computers aren't decked out yet enough to be able to process it quickly, and nobody's trying to stream 4K on YouTube because it just takes so long to load unless you have insane bandwidth or an insane computer. 4K, it just really isn't worth it at this point. So I was shooting 1080p at 60 frames a second, and I exported it from Premiere Pro at 30 frames a second, and I think the footage looks really good. It was really easy, and to color grade in Premiere, and it, again, you don't see any loss in quality. The video overall just looks absolutely fantastic. So without further ado, I'm going to let that edit that I made play. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys like some of the images that I showed you, and ultimately I love the Canon EOS R. The one thing that kind of bugs me is that it's not that much lighter than a 5D. And what I mean by that is mirrorless cameras are supposed to be these really amazing cameras that are significantly lighter than their DSLR counterparts that have a full mirror box and everything. And this isn't a whole lot lighter. When I shot with the Sony a7R II, which a camera that I really, really liked for mirrorless, it was so much lighter and smaller, but I did notice that it didn't have a huge grip on it, and it was kind of uncomfortable at times. Whereas with this, I had that really nice secure feeling with the grip, but I also didn't notice a significant change in the weight, just the overall form factor. So ultimately, I really liked this camera, and if you were on the fence, I would definitely recommend picking it up. I don't really have any opinions on the Nikon counterparts, the Z6 or the Z7. I haven't used either of them. I've heard incredible things about them. This was just my 2 cents on the Canon EOS R, which was a digital camera I hadn't really used before until this past weekend. So I thought I'd make a video on it. I hope this was helpful, and enjoy the edit. I had a blast at the concert, and please go check out Juicy Gossip's music. I will leave them link in the description. Peace.
Welcome, friends. I think this is going to be the best one yet. I think this is going to be perhaps the greatest art piece or art. It's just the greatest art, period, in the history of existence. I think this is going to be...
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. He was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb, the shape of it out on her forehead. Well, the kids start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the wheels and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. The rain gets smart, the rain gets stuck. So much to do, so much to see, so what's wrong with taking the back streets? You never know where you're gonna go. You never know where you're gonna go. We have a brief announcement from our sponsor.
What? Mike, what the hell are you doing, man? That's my character. I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage, and then I pick up the trash can. Oh, that's gonna be a disaster. No, nobody's gonna get hurt. I'm telling you, it's, like you said, it's all fake. But it has nothing to do with the troops, Frank. A 60-year-old man eating trash? Who wants to see that? No, but that's what people want. Hey, I got something for you. I got a character for you. You can be...
Thank you, we love you.